Hello everyone and welcome back to Renowned Explorers. This episode probably going to be a little bit late. I apologize for that. I was not feeling very well today. When I got back from work, I had some stomach issues, and so I have a ginger ale here I've been drinking, which may or may not be helping. I'm not exactly sure how that works. And I'm feeling a little bit better now. It is time to do another episode and attempt to actually win one. I mean, what a novel concept, right? We seem to have been struggling with that. I say we. I'm passing a little bit of blame onto you, right? As a viewer, I don't know what you've done to, decrease my winning ways, but I'm sure you are to blame in some way. It can't just be me, right? So I'm going to continue saying we because it gives all of us a sense of ownership of the failure. Or success. If we succeed, there's a little bit of ownership to pass around there too. But it's important right now because we are not succeeding. All right, what do we got? So our weekly one we have talked about a little bit already last run. Campaign token, master, and amazing armor. It's an interesting one. And then we have expert archaeologist and expert athlete. That is a really interesting one. I don't know if I've ever seen a Renowned Explorers challenge with two experts. That is very, very cool. What would we like to do for that? That seems really cool. I want to do that. Let's see what our treasures are that we're still... Oops, wrong thing. Let's see what our treasures are that we're still missing, shall we? Of course, Saxon Kings. We keep talking about that. The treasure in Egypt we have to buy. We have to find that trader. The supply hut that requires 7 supplies on the emerged island. 2 more treasures in the Angag archipelago. All of the Yeti treasures. A treasure here of some sort. And then the additional 2 devious treasures and 1 friendly treasure. Alright. Interdasting. Alright. So how would we like to leverage that information to attempt to have a successful run? Well... My initial thought is that, an archaeologist plus an athlete. Archaeologist plus athlete, athletes are good at the nature challenges. Archaeologists good at the cultural challenges. Now cultural challenges tend to award campaign. Whereas nature challenges tend to award study. So we should definitely probably do one of those 2. If we were to go campaign, we could go either devious or friendly, because we are missing the friendly and campaign Shangri-La treasure, and we are also missing the devious and campaign Shangri-La treasure. We are also missing the devious and study Shangri-La treasure, which is what we were trying to work on last time, and unfortunately did fail. I am tempted to go deep into archaeology. Archaeology is also very useful in the Angag archipelago, so that might be interesting. But if we wanted to go to the Angag archipelago, we would not want to be devious, because that is one of the worst ones there. We would want to be friendly, in fact. If we were going to go friendly, then an athlete does tend to be good. An athlete is very good, in fact, at a lot of the friendly areas. I don't know why. That's just the way they've chosen to do it. But athlete tends to come in very, very handy, especially in Mali. But that's not exclusively the only place. I have listed here the classes. I've had this written down for forever now, but I have listed the classes that are good for the Angag archipelago because I've still tried to make that work several times now, and I mean we've had varying success. Let's put it that way. We've had varying success at that. Okay, so let me see here. So tactician, archaeologist, Survivalist, and Rogue. Now, unfortunately, none of those really work very well together. The Rogue is engineering. Rogue works with engineering for technique challenges. The Survivalist works with Athlete and Naturalist for nature challenges. The Archaeologist works with Diplomat for cultural challenges. And the Tactician works with Quick Thinker and Beguiler for wits challenges. I think that is all of them. That's off the top of my head. I hope I got them all there. So yeah, actually the 4 classes that work really well for the Anagark Archipelago, Tactician, Archaeologist, Survivalist, and Rogue, are all from different challenge types, which is interesting and possibly purposeful. I'm not sure. Now, I have learned that you can get past some of the archaeology challenges in the Anagark Archipelago with a sufficiently strong survivalist, which is interesting. And you can get past some of the other challenges with a sufficiently strong rogue. So you can succeed without a tactician or an archaeologist. But of course, for this particular challenge, we would have the archaeologist, so that would not be an issue. But we could get away without the tactician if we had a strong survivalist. So that could be interesting. But that would entail taking an archaeologist, a survivalist, a rogue, an athlete, and then probably a naturalist just to round it off and at least have one challenge type that we're good at. And we tend to do a lot of naturalist runs, or tend to do a lot of nature challenge runs. So, you know, maybe we should mix up a bit and actually try for... What if we tried for a dual technique and cultural challenge run? The reason I say that is because those are the 2 types of challenges that only take 2 types of perks. Technique challenges require a rogue and an engineer, and cultural challenges require a diplomat and an archaeologist. However, that does not include the athlete, which we will have to have for expert athlete. The other thing to consider is that if we are going technique challenges, that tends to be a way of getting a lot of gold, and we do not have a Shangri-La treasure remaining that requires gold. However, we do have a Saxon King's treasure that would require a gold start. But in order to get the check we need in the Saxon Kings, we require a tactician. So there is a lot to consider. Wow. Maybe we just do a run that is purely focused on getting to the Anagark Archipelago. Start with the Saxon Kings. Geez, man, I don't know. I've tried to do every run focusing on trying to get one of the Shangri-La treasures I'm missing, because those are the hard ones, and if I don't put effort into them, I'm never going to unlock them, right? So that does limit us to either devious campaign, devious study, or friendly campaign. And I have tried to do friendly campaign several times and failed. I've tried to do devious study last time and it failed. I have not done a lot of runs with devious campaign, which is interesting. I'm not sure why. We do have Yvonne, and I haven't taken Yvonne in a while. But Yvonne does give us an extra campaign whenever we solve an encounter deviously, and that bonus improves every time you complete an expedition. She's also Beguiler, so she tends to do well with Quick Thinkers and with Tacticians, which unfortunately is not one of these 2. Huh. Let's take a look at our other strong devious characters. Charles, I've had good luck with before. Iffy on those. Dolores, I've had very good luck with on devious campaigns with Dolores. She's very strong. Min-jeong, even though we just lost a run with Min-jeong, her devious abilities are really, really good. Maybe the most powerful devious character in the game besides Yvonne, maybe tied with Yvonne, depends on what you're looking for. Yvonne is definitely stronger for single target damage, but Min-jeong's AoE is probably, is a lot better. Yvonne doesn't really have an AoE. She has Group Insult, actually. Take that back. Group Insult is decent. It's not as good as Min-jeong's AoE, but it is decent. Agatha, always good in a Devious crew. She gets her AoE very, very early for Devious Lecture. And she is an archaeologist, so that would be a shoo-in. +1 insight after her expedition and +2 study when she uses insight on study is interesting. She can also learn to be a tactician. But we would probably want to focus her on archaeology since that is the challenge. Min-jeong can also be an archaeologist, so between those two, you have some good options. We just ran with Min-jeong though, so I should probably try someone else if I'm going to do that. And Agatha may be the way to go. We probably wouldn't care very much about her campfire story though. And we do like Min-jeong's campfire story. Although if we're not going to focus on study, it becomes a lot worse. But in that case, we wouldn't want Agatha to be our leader either, because she does also focus on study. Let's see who else we have. Anna is okay. Harry is actually surprisingly good at everything. He has really good single target attacks for every kind. Kiwi is a decent devious character. Gets the loudmouth very early, which is pretty strong. But she does like to focus on nature challenges as well because of the supplies. I don't know, I'm struggling because I'm so tempted to go nature again. We do need a study devious victory. I mean, maybe I'm gonna have to just beg your forgiveness and do a repeat. We just tried to do a study and devious. We did not succeed, but I can't help but think how strong that would be for this particular challenge. We have a survivalist here in Kiwi we could take. We could take Padrino if we really wanted to, but he's better friendly, of course, so we'd rather not. And if we're going to go study, we need to go devious so we get that Shangri-La treasure. We already have the friendly and study one. So yeah, Kiwi. Great character. Atis is okay. Alright. Let's lock in with Kiwi. Let's go from there. So what do we need? If we're going to do this, we need a survivalist, we need an athlete, we need a naturalist, and we do need, of course, an archaeologist. So, Agatha is a very good choice. She is an archaeologist. So is Min-jeong. Both of those would be fine. Either one. I'm tempted to go with Agatha just because I just played with Min-jeong, so let's mix it up a little bit, but I do use Agatha quite a bit. I can see the rationale either way. Now that leaves us with needing an athlete and a naturalist, and there's only one person in the game who is both of those, which is Ivan. But we just did a run with Ivan. Literally just finished it. So again, I am reluctant to take him a second time. I think I am going to focus on getting the athlete. If we can get naturalist perks, that is a bonus, but we need to have an athlete. So who is an athlete that's good with Devious? Well, Dolores. Dolores is insane. She's so good. Just excellent party member. She's got a great Devious AoE attack. Her speech is decent, unlike Ivan. And she's just really good. She's really good. Yep, she's just really good. However, we do play with her a lot. There is Bia. Bia is interesting, but she has no secondary devious attack. She has a noticeable attack, which is nice, but she'd be left with basically just her main Terrify. And she's not an athlete. She's a fighter, but not an athlete. Han Pete is interesting. He does not have any devious moves. He actually has a Peace Tree, which is a friendly move, which is kind of interesting. But he has a good Sadden attack. It's decent. Does he do anything else interesting? Not really. He's good. He's really good in Aggressive Crew. Not so much devious. But he does have a high speech, relatively, and he does start with 2 levels of athlete. There's got to be someone better for this. We need an athlete. As far as athletes with devious attacks go, it's really Dolores. That's really the extent of it. Hojo's not good devious. None of these guys are going to be able to get athlete very easily. Wang Yu is decent devious, but again, not an athlete, so that makes that hard. Hello, Marilyn. What are you doing? Okay. Well, that's really unfortunate. Hello? Don't rub yourself with the point of a pencil. That's not good for you. You just got lead, or well, not lead. You just got graphite all over your face. Come here. Oh no. Come here. Come on. You know you want to. Yep, you know you want to come up here and get some attention. There you go. Wow, I just don't know. I don't know who to pick for our athlete. I don't have a good option, it seems like. So maybe we will have to do naturalist and go from there. And just try to teach someone levels of athlete as fast as possible. The alternative, obviously, is to take Dolores. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. She's obviously the best choice. I keep trying to avoid picking the same characters over and over again. At least I don't play with Kiwi very often, but Agatha and Dolores are staples in my team. I guess my preferences for character classes are coming out here. I feel like I choose Agatha a lot, Dolores a lot. I choose Harry a lot. I've been playing with Fei Lin quite often. Hojo quite often. Pedrinho I will choose at the drop of a hat for a friendly team. That's probably the extent of it, though. Those are probably my firm favorites. Hildegard I have taken an awful lot, because she is a naturalist and a friendly one at that, which is very useful. Alright, so who do we want as our leader? Do we want Dolores as our leader? Dolores is good as a leader. Very, very good, in fact. Gets extra stats from collect, but we're not going collect. We're going study. So that's not a good choice. Wait a minute. I did that the wrong order, didn't I? Yep. Okay, here we go. We're back. Agatha would be a decent leader. She gets extra study when she's inside and gets extra insight after our expedition. It's a nice bonus. It's relatively neutral, so you don't have to have a particular focus to get some value out of it, which is nice. But I kind of like going with Kiwis just because it's interesting. I like interesting captain perks, and Kiwis is very interesting. -2 supplies capacity, but +1 supplies whenever you enter a nature challenge. I like that. I think that's really cool. All right, let's go with this team. It is not ideal. I will go right out and admit that it is not an ideal team by a long shot, but it's interesting, and hopefully that's good enough. The only change I might make is taking Min-jeong instead of Agatha. At least her campfire card does, in fact, help study, which Agatha's does not. It gives a bunch of secrets. Renowned Archaeologist is nice, but we don't care about the renown. And +3 campaign was made with a tactician. We're not going to have a tactician, so that's all useless. At least Eureka can be useful. We don't usually take it, but at least it can be. And Meet the Locals will probably be trash as well. But at least Bureaucrat Brawl is good. Now, Min-jeong and Kiwi will not get along. Kiwi's a free spirit, and Min-jeong is very orderly. Huh. Yeah. I'm not real thrilled by any of the character cards. Okay. Alright, I keep just thinking about more. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's just go so I can't think about it anymore. We're doing this. We're doing this. Let's go. Alright. We're locked in now. We're here. I don't have to worry about it anymore. We've chosen our crew. Right off the bat, we have a wits challenge. Let's go check it out. The crew walks to a dense part of the forest when they hear a characteristic chirp coming from above. The crew looks up and sees an elusive gold bird. Someone gets quick thinker unpredictable. We should probably give that to Dolores because she can naturally be a quick thinker. And she is the only one. So yeah, let's give her that. She already has 1 level of it. Dolores jumps on Kiwi's shoulders and reaches out for the bird. The bird manages to get away, but the thrill of hunting little feathered friends triggers primal qualities in Dolores. Alright, some broken Celtic pottery. Get a little bit of study, a little bit of collect. Let's go grab some more supplies. We only start with 5 supplies with Kiwi as our leader. So it's very important to grab these, especially because on the first mission, there aren't a lot of nature challenges. In fact, we haven't seen any yet. The crew hears the rambling of another person in the woods. Let's see who they are. It's a university member. I'm looking for antiquities of Celtic cultures, but I'm interested in all history. Maybe I can help you with documentation. Yes, indeed. Please come with us. We will kidnap you. Alright, campfire story. I guess it's not kidnapping if they want to come, huh? Oh, interesting. I mean, we could give everybody dodgeball. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I don't care about any of these. We're not going to get a lot of gold. Let's just give everyone dodgeball and refresh all of them. Out of nowhere, Dolores pulls out a ball and hurls it towards Kiwi. Dolores casually yells catch right before Kiwi is struck on the head. Wow, this crew member is pretty mean. Lots of cursing going on there. Kiwi picks up the ball and makes a revenge strike. Within seconds, the crew is having an all-out dodgeball match. A group of locals even joins the competition. Very nice. And we're already ahead of rival, though. There we go. Let's continue looking for some nature challenges. We need some supplies. Ooh, we can spend 2 supplies to get both of these, but that is not a good choice when we only have 3 out of 5. Let's just take some study and move along. Ah, feather. Both magnificent and valuable. Seems good. Now, what we were looking for campfire-wise is really Min-jeong's story. That's the only one we really want, but we want it quickly. Oh, look, everyone is a quick thinker. That is kind of hilarious. Min-jeong hops over the sheep, runs a little while, and then turns around, and then imitates the sound of a hay bale. The sheep come rushing towards Min-jeong, thinking they'll find food, and we get some rewards. We're already almost out of supplies, and there were no nature challenges on this island, so that's just the way it goes. Dolores loses some armor. Not a big deal, really. We should continue exploring, though. There is one more node. Who knows? Maybe it's a research challenge. Hard to say. I am reluctant to take a ton of debuffs. If we went to every node, we'd take one more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 debuffs. We can't do that. We're going to skip on this this fight here. And there's a nature challenge. It was back there. All right, let's take a discovery. And let's go to this nature challenge. A natural phenomenon that's worth researching. Of course, the only one we don't have is a naturalist, and that's the one that this needs. So we'll just take one study instead. And, you know, there is a chance of a treasure here, so let's go check it out. You hear the sound of multiple feet rushing towards you. A man followed by wolves. Let's go. Let's go. Let me take a sip of my ginger ale here. All right. Let's see how Bean Devious goes. This is our first chance to really try it out. That is a good start. And Dolores actually has the least speech of anyone on our team, so that's a good sign. Now, she was helped by the fact that wolves are vulnerable to terrified. That definitely did help. And in fact, it helped enough that no one else can actually one-shot a wolf. Maybe Min-jeong will be able to if I buff her first. Let's give it a try. Very nicely and accidentally, 2 of our 3 members have an excited attack, which is great because we can buff up our other party members, let them do a little bit more damage. That's really nice to have. Min-jeong also has a 100% friendly attack, which is great for healing. Min-jeong, actually, I just thought of this. Min-jeong, like Harry, actually has a 100% for every attack, I think. Yes, she does. No, her hit chance on a regular attack is 80%. Never mind, she's not. I think Harry might be the only one who has 100% on all of them. I could be wrong there. I really want to take out one of these wolves. I mentioned this last time, but I really like the fact that Min-jeong has a 2-range devious attack. That comes in really handy. Especially given how squishy she is. Really almost necessary when you consider that. This guy is weak to nothing. So let's just start working on him. Yeah, in terms of having stomach problems, it's one of those things that unfortunately just comes with age, right? You start getting heartburn, you start having problems like that, and everything else that follows. I think all of us probably at some point in our lives, tell ourselves, oh, I'm never going to get to that stage where I have those sorts of health problems. I'm young, I'm healthy, I can do this stuff, and unfortunately, we all get there eventually, and I'm just starting to see the very first signs of age contributing to some of those health problems. Hopefully, and I say this knowing it's not true, hopefully it doesn't get too much worse, but I know that it does. That's just part of growing, unfortunately. Part of slowly dying over your life, if you want to look at it in a very pessimistic way, which is generally my outlook on life. The druid is livid. Oh yeah? You think your civilization is all fancy? Feel the curse of Cernuus. He throws a skull at you and runs away. Why, thank you. Your current highest level archaeologist gains +2 campaign and +2 study on archaeologist spins. That's very nice. Yeah, we'll do that. And Min-jeong loses some armor. That's okay. Am I willing to take more debuffs, or am I going to call it quits? I think I should probably call it quits. Let's just leave. And we'll have to keep in mind that Min-jeong just got that buff because she is our highest level archaeologist. So if we ever have a chance to do an archaeologist spin, and for some reason have more options than just Min-jeong, I don't know why that would be, but if that ever happens, we should remember to use Min-jeong for that buff. And of course, we can get our campfire card, we'll want to anyway, because she will give us the campaign bonus for succeeding on a spin with her. All right, do our standard. We're gonna back up. We're gonna take care of these guys that are behind us. We are fighting Cassandra, who is not generally happy that you are being devious, but she's happier if you are devious than she is if you are aggressive, because at least you're using your words, and she likes that. I am not going to try too hard to complete these extra challenges. We are going to focus on survival, because that has been our problem lately. Let's not get too over our heads. Okay, so unfortunately none of our characters actually managed to level up on this mission. They might after this fight, but that does mean that we don't have any of our AoEs, so we have to keep that in mind as well. Let's move Dolores back a little bit, move Kiwi back. We'll go ahead and buff Dolores. We'll then use Dolores to buff Kiwi. Oh yeah, that's right. Dolores has the wrong type of buff. Never mind. We'll use Min-jeong to buff Kiwi. There we go. We're all very happy. Come, walk into my web, the spider said to the fly. Which one of us is the spider in this case? Who knows? We'll probably figure it out eventually at the worst possible time. That is decent damage. Kiwi can get into range. Oh, Dolores can actually get into range as well. All three members can get into range of Cassandra. But I doubt we can kill her in one turn, which is the only reason I'm hesitating. Cassandra is weak to Excite, but Min-jeong actually cannot get in range for that, which is a little unfortunate. You know what? Let's just go ahead and attack her. We'll see how it goes. Alright. Yeah, just checking to see what all our debuffs are. We actually have 3 different devious skills, which is nice. That's a good thing, typically. Gives you a little bit more range in case you run into enemies that are immune to one or another. And yeah, we'll just take out a couple mooks here. Now, Kiwi could go down here. If she gets attacked by these two mooks and Cassandra, she will probably fall. Looks like Cassandra's going to go after Min-jeong instead. Min-jeong is probably the safest because she was so far away from the mooks, so I feel pretty good about that. Yep, there we go. And we should be able to finish off Cassandra, especially if you use an excited attack, which she is weak to. Very nice. I have never taken Min-jeong on a friendly crew. Every time I use Min-jeong, I talk about how she's actually really good and friendly, and I've just never taken her on one. Mostly because we have no need to get a friendly study victory, which is what she would be good at. Alright, there we go. Didn't lose any resolve. Got Cassandra. We didn't get our extra bonuses here, but that's alright. Cassandra's pretty upset with your diplomacy. Who do you think you are, you insolent toad? Or what do you think you are, you insolent toad? At least you didn't resort to violence. For that, I'll give you some research notes. Okay, and everyone leveled up, which is great. Amazing, I saw how you handled that encounter. What would you like? We want to make a contribution to the sciences, and we do want that sea sapphire. It is better for naturalists, but we still want it. Oh, we got the Baryonyx Claw instead. Alright. Interesting. Extra encounter for resolving devious, 2 campaign for resolving devious, or just 5 study. The encounter will be worth less study overall, but more resources probably. Definitely, actually. We should probably take the encounter. Almost certainly. Okay. Not the item I was looking for, but it's okay. Will not ruin the run by any stretch of the imagination. I'm perfectly capable of doing that on my own. Thank you very much. 25 gold. There you go. A little bit of research. Pretty good amount of research, especially with that discovery thrown in. And there's a little bit more of everything else, too, from those encounters. We're going to not go and see the Emperor. We don't like him. He's rude. Or we're rude. One of the two of us is rude, and I'm going to let you, the viewer, decide who is who. We do want to grab Athlete Tenacious, definitely, because we are working on our different quests here. We also want Archaeologist Legends. That is important to us. And Survivalist Tracking. Very good. Now, I am going to, before I forget, go ahead and grab the last perk we need for Athlete by giving the machete over to Dolores. I'm aware she can learn stamina naturally, but by that point, we'll just resell it. It'll be fine. We'll get most of our gold back. As you can see, we'll actually only lose 25 gold, and that is well worth the cost. Well worth the cost. Not even a comparison. Now, Naturalist Navigation, or Survivalist Navigation, she already has, so that is not something we will buy for her. And that will finish off a little bit more there. Very nice. Unfortunately, we are too short for unparalleled attack power. Oh well. It's only 1 point. As it is, we're pretty far ahead of Rivalo at the moment. This episode could be ended, but let's go ahead and spend some research. Observations, yes, definitely. And we will take an Archaeologist perk, I think. Let's have Min-jeong learn that. Which Archaeologist perk would we like? There's all sorts of options, but I think we're going to take Symbolism. I like Symbolism. It's interesting. It comes in handy occasionally, especially in some of the different devious areas. And you cannot learn it from an event, unlike Excavation and unlike Occult. Now, I believe we've already passed where we can get the Excavation one. I believe that has to happen in the first island. But still, just I get in the habit of not taking it because you can get it from an event. So let's take Symbolism. Naturalists, engineers, and archaeologists gain an extra study. Meh. Let's take the student, the free student. We probably should have purchased the student first, but I always like getting that student. Some extra study here, or we can go for the supplies, and that's probably more important since we start with so few supplies with Kiwi as our leader. So let's do that. And that puts us at too little research to continue. There's our extra points for the archaeologist perk we just grabbed. Can we buy another student? We can, in fact, and actually that's a pretty cheap student. We'll take it. And let's spend some insight. Looks like Min-jeong is going to be the choice. That'll give us enough for one more paper. And we'll take +2 study when spending insight in Berlin. Probably should have done that first, should have done the opposite order, but that's okay. Not a huge deal in this particular case. We still have to spend 2 insight because we can only carry 3, so we might as well use it. There we go. And we'll grab the last one here. We'll learn more from nature challenges, obviously. And our research will bring in more prestige. I don't know why you'd ever choose anything different if you're willing to go through observations anyway. Very nice. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Here's hoping that this episode is successful. We've had some issues in the past. Now, as has been the tradition for the past couple weeks, to give me a break after working full-time all week and doing 2 episodes of Renowned Explorers every day, in addition to 2 episodes of Darkest Dungeon most days. 1 every day, but 2 most days this week. I am going to be uploading 1 run of Renowned Explorers on Saturday and 1 run on Sunday. I will also do 1 run of Darkest Dungeon and 1 run of Darkest Dungeon each day as well. And maybe a surprise episode in there. I have a game in mind that I would like to do an occasional episode on. I may get to it this weekend. We will see how busy I am. We've had some house issues around here that we have to resolve, and that may take a little bit, including ant problems. I also have to call the loan company, which is never fun. So, yeah, let me know how you enjoyed the episodes this week. Did you like the Darkest Dungeon playthroughs? I've heard from a couple of you already. I really appreciate that. Let me know what you're feeling about this run so far. I would like to hear your feedback on that, and hopefully it will go better than the previous ones have. Thank you very much for watching, really, sincerely. I do love hearing from you guys. I love looking for comments every time I log in, and I am reading every single one of them. I promise you that. But man, I have been busy lately, and it's been a struggle to get around to responding to all of them, so I do apologize for that. But do know that you are being heard, and very, very much appreciated. It really makes my day to be able to come home and record, and hopefully make someone else's day a little bit brighter as well. Thank you very much for watching. Please do have a good weekend, and I will see you next time.